special time, which usually is celebrated with family and friends. And we're so lucky that we have so many friends and family from locally and from all over that want to share with us in the Simcha. So welcome. And we will begin tonight with Havdalah. I'm going to ask anybody at home that is watching and is joining in with us, the men, if you can please put on a yarmulke while you celebrate with us this special occasion. So we're going to make Havdalah, and Menachem Mendel is a bar mitzvah boy today, and he can make Havdalah, so he's going to make Havdalah for us. Stand up over here. And Lach, come around. Maybe better. It's there. Open. Okay, go ahead. Nice and loud.
הנה אל ישוע סייפתך ולא יאכל כי אז יבזמר סייב לי לישוע ושחת מים בססין מים הישוע לדיני ישוע עליך ברכה צלה לעיני צווי סימן המסכוון אליהי יקי צלה לעיני צווי צשרי אדם פתח לך עלינו ישיע מלכנינו וים קרינו.
Together we'll all say La Yehudim Haisa Haira V'simcha V'sasayin V'yakar Kain Tia Lanu.
La Yehudim Haisa Haira V'simcha V'sasayin V'yakar Kain Tia Lanu. Kais Yeshua Tzasa V'shem Alinu Yikra Zavrim Erna Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Baruch Yagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Baruch Yagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Baruch Yagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Amavto Ben Kadosh L'Chol Me'or Ben Ar L'Chayshach Ben Yisrael L'Amem Ben Yom HaShvi L'Sheish L'Simei HaMaisa Baruch Atah Adonai Amavto Ben Kadosh L'Chol.
Amen. Oh, Agatavach, everybody. Move that away. Oh. For many years, every time a bar mitzvah boy or a bar mitzvah boy's parents would send in a note to the Lubavitcher Rebbe that they are having a bar mitzvah, the Rebbe would send back a letter of greetings, a letter of Mazel Tov, and we have with us a copy of the letter, and we are sure that the Rebbe's brachas are also over here given to Menachem Mendel in honor of his bar mitzvah. So we're going to stand up to read this letter. You're welcome to stand up as well. Baruch Hashem, Brooklyn, New York. Avrei Sheyichya. Shalom Abracha. V'ma'ina al ha'ida al derech hikansei legil mitzvahs. Hine yiratzim Hashem yisbarach. Hashem yiben shalosh esrei lemitzvahs yigdal leben chamesh esrei v'chulu. Kipsak HaMishnah Avis Perekei. V'yosif asmada u'shkida. ולימודי בתורה, בתורת הנגלה, וכן בתורת החסידות, ויעדר בקיום המצוות, והשם יתברך יצליחי, להיות חסיד ירא שמיים ולמדן, בברכה, and the Rebbe's holy signature. The translation in English, by the grace of God, Brooklyn, New York, greetings and blessings. In response to the notification about your entry into the age of mitzvahs, may it be God's will that from 13, the age at which one is obliged to observe the mitzvahs, you'll grow up to 15, the age for study of Gemara, and so on as determined by the Mishnah in Avos chapter 5. May you increase your persistent diligence in your study of the Torah, both in Nigla, the revealed plane of the Torah, and in the teachings of Chassidus, and may you perform the mitzvahs with loving attention. And may God grant you success in your efforts to become a chassid, a God-fearing Jew, and a Torah scholar with blessings, the Rebbe's signature. Okay, guys, get sit down. We have the music ready. Don't press it yet, I'm going to introduce it. We're going to go straight into the Maimer. The Maimer is a Hasidic discourse that is customary for a bar mitzvah boy to say at his bar mitzvah. The Maimer basically talks about the mitzvah of putting on tefillin and the uniqueness of putting on tefillin, and how tefillin brings down a very special divine energy from Hashem, from above, that is able to be done through tefillin. And that is one of the ways the bar mitzvah boy prepares for his bar mitzvah, through learning the special uniqueness of the mitzvah of tefillin. I'm going to move the camera. Actually, after the niggin. Okay. If you know the niggin, please sing along. Ya 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 ya. Ay 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 ay
Isa Menachem, Rabbi Lazar, Mer Yisrael Fnei Kadosh Baruch Hu, Rebbeinu Shalom, Reitzin Anu Ligia B'Torah, Yom V'Layla, V'Lein Lan Fnei, Yin Togat Tzai Rebbeinu Shalom, Mer Milan Harvin and Torah, Toga Menach, Daber Mer Haben, Nikein Tzai Domer Lam Kadosh Baruch Hu, Taimu Tzitzulam Aliyane Aleichem, Ki Ilu Atem Yigem B'Torah, Yom V'Layla Zokdei B'Sher Tzayidin, Zayt Mikayim Mitzvah Tzulin, Wer ich euch verrechnen, weil wollt harren in Teure, Tage mir nach so nicht verstandig. Was ist der Inhalt von Mitzvah Tfilin, was feiert mal Teure? Und was ist der Schachs von 2 Jahren Tfilin mit Teure, inner zu und zweiten? Na, der Indien ist, steht doch, man geht Rabbi Yaakov, Chukushpat of Israel, sagt der Menachem, יש מי שהוא מצב לכם לעשות שמונה עשה, והקדוש ברוך הוא מה שהוא עשה, אמר לישראל לעשות שנאמר, מגד רב יעקב, חודש ומשפטיו ספרן einer, was heißt andere zu tun, was allein tut nicht, aber die Überstimmung, was allein tut, heißt der Jüde zu tun, wie stehen, magad Rab Yaakov, Chukav Mishpatav, als seine Dwarm Chukav Mishpatim, was allein tut, sagt der Jüde zu tun, und Schafen, Maschuleise ist, weil die Dörrim hat der Überstimmung, soll tun Mitzvah, durch dem, was jeden tun, die Mitzvah sein, sie gern mit der Überstimmung, soll tun, die Mitzvah, kommt doch aus, als durch dem, was jeden lehnt will, sein sie gern mit der HaKadosh Baruch Hu soll sein, man nicht will, Vene Amar Azal, Tfilin Amar Maxibu, Mika Yisrael, Goyacha Ba'aretz, also der Überstimmung steht einmal von jeden, als sie seine Goyacha in Ba'aretz, kommt doch aus, als durch dem, was HaKadosh Baruch Hu man nicht will, werden jeden größer Kleiferstände in steht doch, schrieb mir ein Katschkam in Shemaim, und war gesamt Israel, weil steht doch, Ramakogayim Avayas, Huisberg ist mir einmal der Heibin von Welt, und man sagt, dass man sie ist, im Chatas amat Tibuloi, Rabbi Pasha Chabatas Aloi, sagt Matida und Umam Yotra Tikach, und alle anderen Israelien und auch einem seinen Kula Kamei Kula Mamish Kashive. Und wie steht, kann es verschmel Vade, Shemai Zavade, Heche vom Welt, Nerbleis, Heidei Zivai, und Ara von Shemai, Zal wie Shemai, und das ist, was steht, Katholika Kadosh Baruch Hu Leila, das meint, wenn der Chayus von der Ara, wenn es Talike Mala, zu der Beginn von Atmos, und demut seien der allermeisten der Teufels Malkeim, und der Anhagel von der allermeisten Beginn Shena Kaviyachol, also wie ein Mensch was schlägt, und sicher, wenn es Teil von der Kli, was das ist der Gott, zu sein Malkeim bescheuert, und es bleibt, überbleibt der Kayachadimien, was das ist, Bleisarishem, was der versteht, bei Yikatzkiyashan Avaya, und steht, Ura Lamatishan Avaya, also soll sein, der Gila Aaron Baruch Hu in Chachman Chesed, und der Beginn von Atmosphäre, Yisberg bei der Watzmann, soll sein, Yarpanov, also soll mehr sein, nämlich es der Zeinai, und das ist durch der Schacha von Torah Mitzvahs, was das ist, und was das ist, was steht, habe ich mir einmal geschrieben, von mir kann ich mehr Shamayim, was Shamayim ist Shamayim, was das ist, Beginn aus der Torah, welche zugehörigen zu Mayim, wie steht, Heikel zu Mayim, was das geht, Beginn aus der Torah, und damit, wenn seine Werksachen für Israel, weil durch die Beginner wel mehr an Bnei Israel gesehen werden, für die Überstimmung für die Verkaschel, weil die Ikras-Vergung ist durch Teure, und Teure ist bei uns Beiskals, was das ist, der Pasuk sagt, Nifgedosh Shemayim Ve'er Marzelikim, was das ist, der Beginner von Asbel Ariam Meira, durch die Beginner von Shemayim, was das ist, der Beginner von Teure, setzt sich für die Überstimmung Kaviyachel wie einer, wenn was guckt durch lachende dicken vergessene Glas, und doppelt setzt sich die Sache bessere an wie an die Glas, als euch durch der והשקפה בחינת התורה sind sich Juden, was seine Menachem Torah, weil der Eibischte Bechina Sheva וגדולה, und das ist nämlich auch Israel geiach בארץ, אז זה seine ממשיך בחינה von Echad in Aretz, als soll schwer sein, es Gala werden Bechina, Savaya Echad in Aretz al-Tachtoina. Und wir hintermals der Torah, wenn man da verstehen von meinem Razal, beim Schal Kamator Leilam, was der Beschaffung, kann man nicht die man sein, weil Zman machen seinem doch bei dem Mechadashim und für Brias Eilam ist doch Beginas als man auf nicht gewähnt, nur die man mit dem Mala als teures Hache von Welt, weil der scherische Macker von Eilam ist von Beginas Mida, ist wie steht, Sheshes Yamim Masa, und steht nicht, bis Sheshes, nur der Sheshes Yamim seinen, doch die Shisha midas al-Yeda, so Sheshes Yamim Masa meint, als die Shisha midas al-Yeda seine Nimshal geworden, Begina von Asiya, was was der Anfang von Sarah Baris ist Bereshit, was das ist Bereshit, und Schafa Bereshit ist, al derech wie steht, Elam Chatzei Yibana, was in der seinen da zwei Piroshim ein Pirosh als Bechti als soll besave werden einlemais und das doch wie es achasset, weil all die Bietes also Kulli Jaber und der zweite Pirosh ist, als wir dabei die Bietes achasset, all der selbst Pirosh Bereshit, so das in Bidya Bietes, Kedea soll sein, am Mocker, otherwise Bia Bria Tia, aber die Teure ist Kabbalah, weil er ist aber Chachbalaf, das Teure, der sagt Chachbalaf, und Beginas machen seinen ganzen Netzach zu Arbeits und wenn sie ist die dazu zum Beispiel sei, weil sich auch sitze, weil sie und Trache das Golle ist anders ist aber Beginas wieder ist all der was schon wieder Chesed, als wenn sie ist nicht dazu beim Spiel sein Teufel Chesed wäre doch die ganze Mitarbeiter, also wie sie wollt in ganzen nicht gewähnt, also wie mir gefielen bei Abraham Avinu, wo Jesche Pesach was ist gesitzt in Pesach und gewähnt, weil hat gesagt, aber wir schauen, Bechti, also haben zu werden, spielen sein Chesed, weil aber Kabel verliert sich ins ganze Verlauf vom Spiel durch sehr, wenn wir verstehen, was steht, was und wie ich bin gerät in der Idee von Kiabati und wie man hat geteilt, dass wir dabei mit unserer Chesed, weil all his Havel Seilbeis darf man doch die Mitzvah Chesed, weil wenn Tad Chesed, das ist, was der Yitzchayim hat an Tishala per Zeit der Apostel Leitiv Lebruov, was das ist mit Teva Leitiv, mit Bechidat, Ashpas Chesed, was während dem Schacht von Bechidas Kichafit Chesed, was Ashpas Chesed ist der Chesed, schon begriffen zu Vaya, aber der Bechidas Beiche ist nicht der Schacht geworden in Israel, aber Gott, der soll sagen, bei Serd war Kaddish Baruch Hu Lava, Bechach, was wurde mit das, und in Sefer Tiraz steht, Beschleusche Svarim Chulu, Besefer, Besipur, als wie es rennt sich in meinem Schaftem, als Sefer mit Avav ist Chachma und Sefer, und Avav ist Bina, also wie ein Sefer, was schreibt als Sefer, von deswegen, das, was während dem Schachat wieder ist das, nach Bechiras Beichet schon wieder ist, aber nicht Beichet Beetzeb, aber es ist Bechach von Dafkas, ist das, von Beichet Beetzeb, therefore ist Apayim Shabbat Teurleila, was das ja Allah Chachma, Allah Chabina, was da sein in der Bechina von Menachem, sein sie Hecher von der Elemais, was ist Mindais, und das ist Apayim von Lashem Allah Chachma. וזהו שאמר רבי אלעזר, אף אם יסול לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, ראיתי מנה לגיע בתורה weil durch Libertäre werden sie beabsichtigt sein, Bechidas Bechen Middays, und das ist eine Weile Gnölle befla, aber Inland und nein, wir haben nicht in Zeit. Sagt zu sehen, der besteht keine Mitzvah Marianne Alechem, ki Ilu hat er mit Gematera, jemand will er war durch bis zu Twillen in meinem Manche, als er soll sein, der kann die Sprache bei der Twillen, was der Pirisch von der Kaddish-Sprache ist, und der Zielus, so machen es der Zielus, was alles Kaddish, und machen es ist Baruch. Diese ist bewusst, wenn der Indien von Yom und Leila als Kaddish ist Yom und Baruch ist Leila, was der Fall Shasta Balachim habe gesagt, Kaddish, aber ich habe ihn auf Shalom einfach Rag gewusst, dass sie ist Tag, und wenn sie haben gesagt Baruch, hat er gewusst, dass sie ist Nacht, aber der Indien von HaKadosh Baruch Hu Barach Tefillin ist, die am Schache von Menachem, und das, was das meint, Bechinas Bechen Beatzer und der Rieber, so kann dann was ist noch nicht geworden 13 Jahre, ist Vater von Tefillin, weil wird nicht angerufen ist, und Hauptleut kann das am Menachem, nur wird Aben Yugimol schon wie im Echad, was damals wird, als wird ish, was damals durch Hanachas Tefillin, ist Mamshech, als soll sein, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Maniach Tefillin, und ist von dem Verstehen, als der Indien von Tefillin schon mal langsam Shachas Mechem Be'etzem kommt heraus, als das ist ein Bechina mit der Indien von der Militär, und der Versag, kam mit so Tefillin Marianne Alechem, Kilo Atem Gematera Yom Leila, weil durch Teira tut man auf denselben Indien wie durch Libertäre. Und das ist, was sagt, ki Ilu, was das weiß, als ist nicht mamisch dieselbe Sache, ist weil durch Gehen Teira, weil Nimshach werden Meichen in Avir Ha'elam, dafür sagt als Adam durch Tefillin, wer haben Shachas Meichen mit Sherish, Makar Hama Ha'elam ist und nicht in Avir Ha'elam von deswegen, Malani Alechem, ki latem Geba Teira, Yom Ha'elam, Bechina Ha'elam Shalabata.
Ay, 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 ay.
Okay, everybody please at home, if you're joining us, please take a l'chaim. Anybody for a l'chaim over here? Oh, people are back. Chaim, yeah? A little bit? Okay, you have your l'chaim. Please. Please put on a yarmulke and make a bracha together. Make a bracha Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Sha'akol Niya Bidvarei. Chaim l'chaim, Chaim Menachem Mendel. Grew up to be a chassid Yishmael Malamden. Have all the brachas. Chaim.
Chaim. Try.
You don't have to. Okay, because we're having some technical difficulties, so working on getting a video of my mother-in-law and father-in-law on, which we're going to do in a moment, but I'm going to have my father come back in first.
L'chaim livracha. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Menachem Mendel and the ganze Mishpacha. This is a very, very wonderful, beautiful occasion. And even though we're physically distant, in spirit, we're extremely close. Closer, actually, than ever. You were in our thoughts during Shabbos on the day of your birthday, and in our hearts, the love and the connection is very deep and very real. Just to share a few words, we're coming from Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Rosh Chodesh Nisan is the month of miracles, And so we're times of miracles. We're in a time that with your physical eye, what you see is distance, social distancing, and a lot of challenges that are out there in the world. But we have to use our mind's eye and connect to the teachings of the Torah that allows us to be able to be connected and that make essential things in life the most important thing. The government is telling us only essentials we can deal with. And the truth is, ultimately in life, it's only essentials that are important. So, bar mitzvah, there's the bar of the mitzvah, and there's the bar of the mitzvah, bar mitzvah, and there's the mitzvah. So the bar part, the party part, we're going to have to wait for. But the mitzvah, which is the essential part, is something that we have right now. You have right now, that you became. That you became a bar mitzvah boy, someone now who is obliged in mitzvahs, someone who is obliged to be a part of the Jewish people and an integral part of the Jewish people. So this is the miracle that we're a part of, that the Jewish people continue, and you continue to be part, and now an integral part of the Jewish people, that every mitzvah that you do is essentially important. That was Rosh Chodesh, and then we come to Beis Nisan, which is the day before your birthday, the day that the Rebbe Rashab, the faithful Babich Rebbe, passed away, and the previous Rebbe became Rebbe 100 years ago, literally in 1920. It is the day that on his passing, he said, I'm going into heaven, and the teachings I'm leaving for you. Another way that we get connected is through the teachings of the Torah, the teachings of our Rebbeim. And this is what you just gave over, is the teachings, Maimer, Frierdiker Rebbe, that is the way that we can connect today. And then we come to this Shabbos, which was the day of your bar mitzvah, where we read Parshas Vayikra. We didn't read it in shul, but we read it in the house. And what does Vayikra mean? And he called. God called. He called to Moshe. When God calls you, wow, you're getting a call from God Almighty. So for most people, what it might do is say, oh, look how important I am. God is calling me. But the aleph in the word Vayikra is small, because when God calls upon us, as we learn from Moshe Rabbeinu, that brings out a humility in us. That brings out that I'm here for God's calling. To whatever he needs of me, this is what I'm dedicating myself to. So on the day of your bar mitzvah, God is calling to you, Menachem Mendel. And he is saying that I have a mission for you. And what does that produce in you? A willingness and a commitment in your humility to accept what that mission is. And of course, what is that mission? To connect to the teachings of the Rebbeim, to connect to the teachings of the Torah, and through that to be able to connect to every single Jew and to every human being, to provide for them whatever is needed and whatever you can provide for them. And that is the miracle of Chodesh Nisan and the miracle of your bar mitzvah, that even though physically we're separated, but spiritually we're very, very close and connected. So a mazel tov. We wish you that you should grow to be the chassid, the shliach. You've been a shliach till now, helping your parents tremendously, and continue your shlichus. The work is integral to the Jews in Dollard, but far and above the Jews in Dollard, to all of Klal Yisrael, and for that matter, for the entire world. Chazak, chazak. Should continue. We love you, and you are a great example of what it means to be that chassid. Mazel tov, mazel tov. L'chaim.
Mazel tov, Menachem Mendel. We are so, so proud of you. And we wish that we could be there in that room with you. But in Hashem, we will be there very soon, give you lots of hugs. And we just bench you, we bless you, we wish you all the best. We bless you that you will grow to be a chayal, a chassid, a yirah shamayim, a fearer of God, and a lamdin, a person learned in Torah. We also bench you, we bless you, that you should follow in the footsteps of your father and your mother, and your bubbies and your zadis, and all of your ancestors who feel the call of Hasidus to serve the community, to serve all the people around you, to be a shliach, to be a varmayid, a warm Jew, a shining example of what it means to be a shliach and a chassid of the Rebbe. We love you, and we are proud of you, and we say Mazel Tov, L'chaim to you.
L'chaim, Mazel Tov.
So we're going to continue now with a video recording of my in-laws. I'm going to go first to my father-in-law.
Mendel Alevi, Mazel Tov, Yom Haledes, and together with the Bar Mitzvah, lange gesunde Jahren. We have a lot of Siddish and Nachas, give the parents a lot of Siddish and Nachas, his parents, ladies and bodies. Give them the Wein, the Gula, Schleim, Gesundheit, and Freilich ahead.
Okay. Now we're going to go to this is my mother-in-law, Hannah's mother.
Mazel Tov, Menachem Mendel. Bobby loves you so much. You should have a beautiful life. And I'm thinking of you, and I'm sharing with you. And Amir Hashem will share many, many, many simchas. And we should have the Gula Shlema very, very quickly. And everything should be good for you in every way.
Thank you very much to my shver and my shviger. And with this, we wish my mother-in-law, Chayrivka Baskiena, for Shlema, only good news. And the truth is, at this point, B'seich Shar Chayil Yisrael, with all the other people that are not well at this point, should all have refuah shlema, should only hear good and positive news. So I wanted to share with everybody, son's bar mitzvah, I get to say a few words. Celebrating here a bar mitzvah made me think about the first bar mitzvah. First bar mitzvah that's recorded in the Torah, according to the Medrash, is a story of Abraham, our forefather, Avram, his son, the firstborn Jew, Avram, the first Jew, Isaac, Yitzchak, the firstborn Jew, not just the first Jew, the firstborn Jew, and he has his bar mitzvah at the age of 13. There's a pasuk in the Torah, Vayigdal Yeled, that he grew up and he made a big party. According to one of the opinions in the Medrash, the story is that it was his bar mitzvah party. So, who comes when Abraham makes a bar mitzvah? Who shows up to the bar mitzvah? Big people, one of the most important people, or the most important person of the time. He invited all important dignitaries, important people to show up to his son's bar mitzvah. And the Medrash goes on to say that there was someone by the name of Og. Og, you might remember, was one of the giants and eventually became Melech Bashan. He became the king of Bashan. And this Og was one of the dignitaries that was invited to the bar mitzvah. And when he was at the bar mitzvah, the Medrash says that the other people at the party, they started poking fun at Og. And they were telling him, you know, you said that Avram is barren and he can't have children. Look, he has a son. He's having his bar mitzvah. To which Og responded, what's this? I could crush him with my finger. I could crush him with my finger. And the question is obvious. If they wanted to poke fun at Og for saying that Avram can't have children, why did they wait 13 years till Yitzchak's bar mitzvah? to talk about this. It's his bar mitzvah. We're talking about already 13 years later. We're talking 13 years later, and what's the what are they telling Ike over here? So this is the question that's asked on the story in the Medrash, and also the Medrash continues and says that Ike said that I could crush him with my finger. If his thing against Avram was that he couldn't have children, what's this idea that he could crush him with his finger? He still had a child. He still had his son. So what's the big deal that he could crush him with his finger? The idea is that Rebbe gives an explanation on this Medrash in the famous Rishimis, that what was Ike saying? Ike was saying, Ike had a worldview very different than Avram's. And if Ike's worldview is very different than Avram's, then Ike's worldview is very different than ours. Our worldview and Ike's worldview are very different. What did Ike believe? Ike believed that you have to be strong and mighty and powerful. Got to go to the gym multiple times a day even, just to make sure. Ike was a very powerful person, a giant of biblical proportions, and a strong warrior. And Ike felt that that's what is important. If you want to leave a long-standing effect here in this world, if you want to make sure that people remember you, you want to make sure that you make a difference here in this world, you got to be strong. You have to be a warrior. Avram believed in serving Hashem. Avram believed in the service of God, and just, serving Hashem. Obviously, one of the mitzvahs in the Torah is to take care of your body and to take care of yourself and to make sure that you're strong and healthy. Of course, that is a mitzvah, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is service Hashem. So this was a difference of approach and difference of opinion between Ike and Avram. So comes Ike and says that Avram will never have children that will follow in his footsteps. That's the way the Rebbe explains this Medrash. He says that Ike comes and he says that Avram will never have children that will follow in his footsteps. He'll never have children that will continue to be Jewish the way Avram is, following God the way Avram does. And all of a sudden, by his bar mitzvah, they come and they look at him and they say, no, you see, he is Jewish. He is continuing in his father's footsteps, and he's continuing doing the right thing, etc., etc. So, what do you have to say for yourself? Comes Oig and he says, I could crush him with one finger. He says, no, this is nothing. It won't last. This is not something that says bar mitzvah boy, but it won't last. It's not something that will last. So comes Hashem. The continuation of the Medrash says that Hashem tells Oig that you're going to live to see your destruction, your demise, by the children. You're going to see the demise by the children of Yitzchak. Your demise will come by their children. And the famous story that ultimately he was killed in battle by Moshe Rabbeinu, by Moses. And that is the idea of a bar mitzvah. What's the idea of a bar mitzvah? Bar mitzvah is when a bar mitzvah boy starts becoming responsible for his own actions, and therefore he could start doing mitzvahs. And therefore, he was able to do mitzvahs before, but now his mitzvahs are his own responsibility. And before, now, we don't want to give him a pair of tefillin, it's expensive. Now that he could be responsible for them, so he puts on tefillin every day, besides Shabbos and Yom Tov. Reading from the Torah, you can't just give it to anybody, you give it to someone that's going to be responsible. So that is the idea of being a bar mitzvah. The idea of being a bar mitzvah is taking responsibility upon yourself. And that's what Menachem Mendel does and wants to be a part of everything. Sitting over here now in the Chabad house, it's pretty sad to be in the Chabad house and nobody else is here, but Baruch Hashem, everybody's with us here online. But to be we're waiting for the time that we're all going to be able to be together, whether it's about celebrating this bar mitzvah, the postponement of this bar mitzvah, we'll celebrate all together, God willing, soon. And we'll all celebrate together, and Menachem Mendel will be able to come here into the Chabad house and lay in the Torah on Shabbos and to be a part of the minyan, etc., etc. And we look forward to that May it be very, very soon. Thank you very much. And we're now going to, actually tonight is Motzei Shabbos, Saturday night. Saturday night, a Malava Malka. Malava Malka is a special meal after Shabbos, and it is connected to the Baal Shem Tov. And it is customary to say a story of the Baal Shem Tov on a Saturday night on at a Malava Malka. And therefore, we're going to pass this along to my wife, to Chana. She's going to share with us a story of the Baal Shem Tov.
Good talk, everybody. Shavua Tov. Sorry. Thank you so much for joining in our Simcha. This means so much to us to be able to celebrate Menachem Mendel's Bar Mitzvah in whatever way we can. So I wanted to share a short story about the Baal Shem Tov, being that tonight is Motzei Shabbos. The Baal Shem Tov was once approached. Baal Shem Tov was known to have many students, many Hasidic followers. And one of the ways that they were distinguishable from other people was by their ability to just break out into joyous song and dance whenever they felt like it. And it was pretty arbitrary. They would just walk through the streets joyfully. They would sing while they were praying. The joy of learning was accompanied by song and dance. And at that time, people had an issue with it. And so someone once approached the Baal Shem Tov and asked him, why is it that your Hasidim, your followers, just burst out into song like that in the middle of nowhere? That's not the way a normal person acts. Normal people, they follow a schedule. There's a time to be serious. There's a time to be joyful, but just randomly in the middle of the street or randomly at different points in their day to just burst out into song, that's not normal. So the Baal Shem Tov replied with a story. He said there was once a musician, very talented musician, who came to a town and nobody had ever heard his type of music before. And he parked himself on a street corner in the village square and he starts to play. And he's playing this soulful, beautiful music, and people start getting drawn over and they're listening to this music and they've never heard anything like it before. And they just get so caught up in the music that they start to dance, and they're swaying their arms and dancing around, and they're totally involved with the music. And all of a sudden, this deaf person walks by and he looks at all of these people and he says, what are these people just swaying their arms and dancing in the middle of the street? They must be crazy. So the Baal Shem Tov continued and he said, Hasidim, people who learn Hasidus and understand the depths of the Torah, they're in tune to the beautiful music that comes forth from God's creations, from all of nature. And at any point, they'll burst out into song and dance because they're so sensitive, they're so in tune to this divine beauty that is coming forth through our world. And if somebody isn't as sensitive to that divine beauty, should they stop to dance because the other person doesn't feel it? I think this is a beautiful lesson to take specifically for our bar mitzvah boy, Menachem Mendel, very sensitive young man. Just because somebody else doesn't feel what you feel, does that mean you shouldn't do the amazing works that you do? Just because somebody else doesn't understand what you stand for, who you are, does that mean you should stop? Just because the world right now is saying you can't get together, you can't be together physically, does that mean that we stop, that we find that we just don't find a way to be joyous? We find a way. And so here in cyberspace, we are joyful. God willing, personally, in person, one day, very, very soon, we will be able to celebrate together and be in tune to that divine energy, that special spark that is found in every single one of Hashem's creations, and dance because of it. Chaim.
Thank you very, very much. And with that, we're going to conclude. We're going to put on some music and we're going to dance. And please feel free to dance in your place, in your home, in honor of Menachem Mendel's Bar Mitzvah. Please come. No. What? It says it's on YouTube.
I'm not pressing it. Oh, it's because it's on the other computer.
And I will tell you I'm a Jew and every Jew's a proud Jew. Not just me, my sisters and my